What's up, everybody? Dead Girl here. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having a fantastic work week if you're doing the 9 to 5 thing. And if you don't, well, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend or week and everything is going well for you guys. We have some special guests tonight. I have a plethora of gentlemen, as it were, that are working with a local South Florida haunted attraction, and it's one that we've been to many times over the years and we enjoy. But without further ado, let's welcome the folks from Fright Nights at the South Florida Fairgrounds.
Hey.
Hey!
Everybody.
How are you guys doing today?
We're good. Good. How are you?
Good. It's Wednesday, one more day closer, so you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys would take a quick second and just kind of introduce yourselves and what your affiliation with Fright Nights is.
I'm Alex Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Operations. Jeremy Schroeder, Veteran Haunt Designer.
Brad Kane, Veteran Haunt Designer.
Craig McKinnon, Creative Director.
Poor Craig. He's going to pop his head in, so don't be alarmed. It's a thing, and it's okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me, first and foremost. And you guys are, as we discussed, down in South Florida. Is it West Palm, Boca area?
West Palm Beach.
Nice. And you guys are at the South Florida Fairgrounds. And for those of you that are not familiar, like if somebody's not familiar with the South Florida Fairgrounds, is there something else that happens down there? I think they had, Yesteryear Village was still down in that area?
Yeah, we have our fair there, Yesteryear Village. We have all types of shows that happen at the fairgrounds. We're probably 5 miles from the Turnpike west.
Oh, okay. So you guys are pretty easy to get to, easily accessible. Awesome. And you guys have been going for 20 years now. It's the 20-year anniversary. That's huge. How did you guys actually start? Like, how did Fright Nights begin?
House is 20 years, holy cow. It began humbly. I don't know how much you're right. It began humbly. I don't know who brought it to the table, but it was a partnership with Live Nation. Originally, the concept came as a realization that Halloween events were on the rise, do some stuff, the bigger stuff like Halloween horror night. It started very humbly. It started outside in a tent. It didn't have a dedicated building. And it was designed by people who maybe were in the event business, but of course, not in the Halloween business or the haunted house business because it didn't really exist. I mean, that market was pretty small. It was just big dogs back then, mostly in home haunt. And then fast forward to when these two gentlemen, Jeremy and Brad, were asked to go out there and join the cut as designers because they had already been doing it for a few years. And we kind of springboarded off of the back of their knowledge and the things that they were already doing outside of the fairgrounds and build what we've got today on that. Fast forwarding through 20 years, obviously, but that's how we got where we are today from jumping off that plateau that they brought to the table. That's why we use the word veteran haunt designer because they already had years under their belt before they even got to Fright Night. So, we always try to tip our hat in between all the sarcasm and whatnot to these guys for helping us, bring that knowledge that they had at that time to the table.
Now, did you think that you'd still be going this strong 20 years later?
Yes.
Humbly, yes.
Well, no, I mean, it's full momentum. We do our diligence like a lot of the other haunted houses do by visiting some of the other badass haunted houses around the nation and trying to live for those standards. We can't beat them all because we are a tear down haunted house. We don't leave our house up all year to pick away at it creatively.
Okay.
So we can't do everything dogs do, but we always strive for excellence in the quality of the house, the quality of the stairs, the effects, everything. And unless something catastrophic happened and the fairgrounds all of a sudden went in a different direction and was like, we don't like Halloween anymore, maybe that could do it. But they love the event. We love the event. The market here loves the event. But yeah, there was, at least not in my mind, I don't think anyone here would disagree with me, that we knew we'd be here in 20 years, or at least the event would.
Yeah. I remember going to see you guys like many a moon ago, back when I lived in South Florida, and we went for quite a few years. I'd bring the family and we'd just kind of go and have a good time, and it was such a fun outing for us because like we were in Fort Lauderdale, so it was the drive up to kind of visit, and it really was much more than going through like a single haunted attraction. Like you guys have a lot going on out there, and I know that some of you have also not only been behind the scenes but have been out in the thick of it, so to speak. Do you prefer being back behind the scenes, or do you like being kind of out front and torturing the masses?
I like being behind the scenes. I do have a character that roams the Midway probably once a season. Other than that, I can't dress up long enough to handle all the issues that we have during back of house and the front of house, queue lines and all that stuff. So I'm more back of the house. These guys are all about hearing. Jeremy's always in the house, in his house, and all the other houses. Brad's out in the Midway, Craig's in the Midway. That's my.
Which do you like better?
A little bit of both. I definitely enjoy the setup and the build and creating it all, and then making sure it's running well, and then getting into character every night and just messing around here and there. But getting the scares in is definitely a must.
As an artist, I enjoy the set design and building the houses out, designing them, and then opening night, it's always fun to go out and greet the crowd in character, and me and Craig kind of have a little setup act. I'm a distraction, and he gets the good scare.
Nice.
I think we're all ringing the same bell. I think we like both. I don't know if I have a preference. I think I go through phases. Like right now, I love concentrating on what we're concentrating on, the branding and the making, getting the houses where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's kind of in the bag, which usually sometimes goes right up to the last possible moment because we like to put more and more details. But once we get that sigh, that little pause where we're like, oh man, we're actually ready to open, then I immediately start thinking about getting into character and scaring kids. So I like both equally, I suppose.
Nice. Now, you guys started in like a tent, and you've evolved over the years, and now you guys have scare zones and food and drinks and games and entertainment and midway rides. How did you guys evolve from starting at that tent to this giant attraction?
Who wants to front field?
That's
Oh,
you.
God. Yeah, we were in 2002.
Yeah.
And then our Agriplex got built that same year. So 2003, we got into the 25,000 square foot facility that we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, added scare zones and music, live entertainment, flash mobs, carnival rides, food, all that type of beer, liquor.
Those are always bonuses for folks that need that liquid encouragement. No, that's awesome. I love that you've made it a night thing instead of just like we'll do it and leave. You've made it kind of like a hangout as well, which is kind of nice.
It's definitely yeah.
That's awesome. Now you guys just started your build for the season. Is that correct?
We did. We started on Monday.
Yeah. 3 days in.
We're 3 days in. We got all the walls in. We're now building one of the haunts. Right now, we're probably a quarter of it is up. As soon as I go up, and then we're going to start designing each room and doing what these guys design all year round to build for them.
Nice. And how long does it take for you guys to actually build out the houses themselves?
Each house takes about, the walls will take about a week each house,
Okay.
and then another 3 to 4 weeks of construction inside of the haunt, and then probably another 2 weeks to put all the bells and whistles, electrical, sound, animatronic, all the rest of the cool stuff that I deal with. I'm paying. I'm not an artist.
And then the details probably go to the last, like I said, they probably go until the dinner bell goes off, because we keep walking back through the houses and going, it would be cool if we had this. It's never done. It's like art, I suppose, it's done when the door opens and people start coming in and getting scared. That's when it's done.
Doors open, the paint's wet.
I mean, it honestly wouldn't be right if it wasn't, right? Because, I mean, that's kind of what it is. You go through so many times, and each time you go through, you find that one little thing where you're like, oh, put this here and add this here. So I can understand. And as a patron and someone that gets to go through and see these things, I appreciate all of that attention to detail and seeing all of the set designs. And I mean, actors are great, and they're all fantastic in their own right, but there's something about it, to me it's pretty, even though some might find it revolting and disgusting, but a fantastic setup. I love, scenic is one of my favorite things when I go through a haunted attraction, for sure.
Yeah, it's all about the details. And our second weekend that we're open, we'll probably have more in it than the first weekend, because we're just constantly building. We're never satisfied with the product, and we find what works, we find what doesn't work, we find what doesn't look good in certain lighting, and just constantly building.
So what I'm hearing is, don't go just once, go like multiple times throughout the run so that you can see those changes.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Not only that, but and you know this from going to haunts, if you visited on the first weekend and the last weekend, not only the set design has changed, but even the scenarios will change. Actors will find a different place to come scare you from. The scenarios might get tweaked or turned or simplified, or maybe they're better, or maybe there's the cast switches around. So yeah, it's never the same exact performance. Same reason you go see a band more than once. So yeah, we recommend coming back multiple times for that reason, for sure.
Nice. I love that. I love that you can get a totally different experience going through multiple times. So it gives you that reason to come back, where you may have loved it the first time, but by the second or third time you fall even more in love with it because of those small changes and those details that you guys add and the way that you switch it up. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, with it being the big 2-0 for you guys, do you guys have any special surprises or any special tricks up your sleeves this year that you would want to talk about?
That's a common question. I always feel like pressured to be like, oh yeah, this year we decided to get some wild orangutans with fire flamethrowers, party hats. But we don't have anything spectacular like that. But I will say that it is always, just like in the course of the nights that were open, evolving, year after year also evolving. So what we brought last year, this will be an amped up version of that, because everything that we learned from last year will now be applied. So if someone had a great time and got scared in the scare zone X amount of times, well, they're going to get scared more this year. And it's building upon that same momentum and that same quality level. It's really changes from year to year. Not that we are trying something new out. We do have some fresh things that have happened in the last 3 to 4 years. Like we do have a game company that comes out and people can play video games there on the Midway. We do have virtual reality experience. And again, we do have live, not only on the stage in the queue line, but also in pop-up exhibitions on the Midway. So it's all that stuff, and it's each year, again, a better version. It is, as I say, it sounds like a cop-out answer, but that's exactly what we're working on, always making a framework that we have and that we like and that works to work better year after year.
Okay. That's not really a cop-out answer. That's just a saying, I'm going to answer you the best way without giving things away. And I think that that's a fair way to answer that question.
The 20th year, while we're not really disclosing our themes yet, we are bringing back one of the older haunts that we started with in a renewed version.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and we're revisiting old stuff, like a homage to the humble early years of the event, the themes that we I guess reminiscing, but they were good themes and they were great houses that lived on for multiple years. Back then we would not do fresh themes every year. We would just regurgitate them again. If they were good and they were working, we're like, let's not fix what's not broken. So
Yeah.
as an home for the 20 years, couple throwbacks.
That's awesome. I love a good throwback. I'm excited. Maybe it'll be something that I got to see back in the day.
Just might be, yeah, you probably did see it.
Now, you guys have a plethora of haunt actors that come in that work your midway and that also work in the houses. How many do you guys usually have out there?
We hire approximately about 110 actors and probably another 30 to 40 volunteers.
Wow.
That does special nights for that. So
That's just actors.
and that's just actors. That's not including the staff and the front of house, back of house.
Yeah, that's not even getting into. There's 200 people in that building. 200 creatives. Adding, you take the 150 of talent actors. I mean, and then you take wardrobe and makeup, management, carpenters still fixing things, sweeping things, maintenance guys, certainly tech people. Because it's a moving beast with technical aspects, with stuff breaks. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are making sure the thing is off the ground every night, and it's been a great crowd. It's been a great family, and we're adding to it year after year.
That's awesome. Now, do you guys typically have characters in mind when you're casting someone to work the event, or do you allow them to kind of bring their own character and then do their spin on it, or how do you typically handle, like if I were to come in and say, hey, I want to audition, would you already have something planned out for me, or would I be able to bring to the table something I've already got?
Well, we do encourage for people to come out dressed up and show us their creativity. But in our houses, it is kind of already pre-designed, and we go through the design process. We design all the characters, wardrobe, and makeup as well. So if it is a character that we can work into what we have, we will use them.
Okay.
But for the most part, they're all original characters from a design point.
Okay. And I'm assuming that's the same for like your midway area and scare zones as well.
Yeah. Everything's encapsulated. Not for some kind of weird controlled drama, but more of a quality control kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if some very dynamic characters, to Jeremy's point, we will go out of our way to find a place for it, of course, if it fits somewhere, theme-wise. But we're not just going to stick a fire just because it's badass. It has to be a carnival or something where it makes sense.
Right.
So, a bit of both. But we're structured because we've got this thing down to a pretty solid formula. So we just like to, again, it's not broke, we don't fix it.
Yep. Oh, okay. Now you guys are currently, well, you're going to be looking for actors. I know you've got that coming up in, you had mentioned previously September. Are there certain age groups that you guys are looking for when you're hiring?
I would say, generally it's 16 and up.
Okay.
That's what makes it.
16 and up paid.
16 and up for paid, but we will take, we do have a nice slice of kids that work it, and they're sometimes scarier than the adults. But they have to be accompanied by parents, so there's that. But often if the parent is letting the kid do it, the parent is into it as well. So it makes like a cool team. But the top of that age range, well, there isn't one. If someone can hack it, because it's not an easy job.
Okay.
But if someone can hack it, we'll take them. In fact, some people have acting chops because they did other things, because they're seasoned, they're 30 or 40 years old. Or whatever. We're glad to have them. So yeah, there's no cap on the age limit at all.
Okay.
Either way,
Nice.
we'll take babies. Plan to play. This is pretty for baby, but I mean, if a baby wants to be scary, well, who are we to say no, baby?
I mean, we'll take that screaming newborn that's gonna scream just right in that one section, right? No
Jump in
one.
the toilet. Right. No, we have had babies there actually. Some of the actors have been there long enough that they've gotten married, had kids, and the kids make a special appearance here and there. And then when they get to be 5, 6, and they can actually know what they're doing, they go ahead and do it. So we do have some ringers.
Well, how long have you been acting for?
Right. So we've got some that have straight up grown up out there, like went from little nuggets to like preteen.
Oh wow.
While on the cast.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely got that family feel to it. I mean, that's awesome. I love that. Let's see.
We call it the family.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little. You call it the what?
Family of freaks.
Aw, see, that's very sweet and endearing. I think so. I love it. I think it's great. And I love the fact that they, parents encourage their kids to get involved with it, especially those that have grown up. That's what they know. And it's what they become just as passionate about. Now you guys are doing a behind the scenes tour, I saw. What can folks expect from something like that? I'm assuming that's probably separated ticketed, I'm assuming, from going to the actual haunt. Is that something that happens during the day, or how does that work?
We have traditionally been doing it the day before opening because everything's pretty buttoned up by then, except for the aforementioned wet paint. And yes, it's a separate ticketed event. And what people get to do is they get to see backstage, basically, because we bring them in. We don't bring them in through the front of the haunted house first. We bring them backstage first where all the magic happens, the makeup, the wardrobe. They can see some of the tech. They get introduced to some of our signature characters there who will then be put into the houses to kind of interact with them. Not necessarily scared. We get some scares that night, but it's not about that. And then the people go with the haunt designer themselves and or the house leader of that haunted house. And they can ask questions. They can poke their head into the hidey holes. They can do everything but start touching some of the tech. They can ask about the tech. They can do whatever they want, and a lot of them tend to be either home haunters or they're just super curious about how we do it, and that's exactly who it's for. Or they can just come and if they're too scared to come on a regular night, that's a good night to come. Like if you're trying to get into haunted houses, but he's absolutely too terrified to come during a regular night, then behind the scenes is a good way to ease someone into the whole vibe.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. I like that you guys have that available. There are a lot of people who are, to your point, they don't want to do the event because they're terrified. And they don't really get the concept of, like, they're people. They're normal-ish people, but not really. It's a different human it takes, I think, to scare, right? But they're still just people. So I like the fact that you take them back, you show them the back of the house, you show them how the monsters are made, so to speak, and then you walk them through and do that Q&A. I think that's fantastic.
It's been popular, and I think we saw enough behind the scenes tours to A, think it's a great idea, and B, we saw what to do and what not to do again.
Yeah.
Doing research was invaluable because we've been on some real stinker tours that were super boring. And then we've been on, we were like, holy crap. I mean, they just gave us a run of the place. And sometimes the lights are on, sometimes the lights are half on or completely off.
Okay.
And so we just took that and put it in a blender and made our own version of it.
That's awesome. Well, I'll have to see if I can't get the husband together and make a trip down to check that out, because that sounds like it's a lot of fun.
It is.
Now, you guys have got your dates coming up, so just to show some folks when they can come visit y'all. So this is Thursday, October 6th is your behind-the-scenes tour. Now, do you guys do multiple tours that evening, or do you do just one?
What is it, 3?
We need 4 more.
I always forget. It's 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4. It sells out, so we we keep adding it, but we don't also want to be there till midnight on the day before opening. But or we also don't want to start. So it's 3 or 4. Don't quote us on that. It's one of those 2 numbers.
Okay. So in other words, when those tickets go on sale, grab them before they're gone, because there may not be an additional tour added for that evening.
The behind the scenes tickets, everything starts to ramp up in the middle of September, but our social media gives you plenty of warning about when these things are going to start going on sale. We to the behind the scenes, which again, you're right, they do go fast. But at first, there's a lull. We're like, oh man, maybe we got too many tours. And then all of a sudden, they all sell out in a week. So that's true of most of the stuff. The other thing I've mentioned in that same realm is that we do a flash sale every year, which is a buy one, get one.
Oh.
For anyone who's paying attention to socials,
Flash sale is not buy one.
it's not? Oh, it's money off.
Yeah.
Money off. We do a flash sale, which is a good price, kind of even more so than the advance sale, right? So the flash sale gets you more money off the ticket price. Then there's advanced ticket sale. So there's all the stuff that leads up to where people can get a deal before they have to actually pay that full price.
Okay.
In addition, we have a buy one, get one, because we're open on Thursdays, and they're usually a little bit better than the weekend nights. So we put a buy one, get one coupon out there so that people who don't want to stand in the longer lines or have to deal with a crowd in any way, shape, or form can enjoy a Thursday night.
Okay. That's a good tip that you guys are open Thursdays so folks can come out and do that. I think that's great. And you guys are open the 6th is your preview, so it would be the 7th to the 29th on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, right?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. And then when are you guys plotting to, or do you have a date yet for when tickets are going to go on sale? Because I know some folks like to chomp at the bit and get their tickets early so that they don't have to worry about it and they know they've got their spots.
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a sec while I read. Still in September 9th, 10th, and 11th. Oh, okay. So advance goes on advance tickets are September 12th. So people should be looking for that September 9th flash. So that's the first time they're going to get opportunity to get a full boat ticket, but not at full boat price.
Okay. That's fantastic. So keep an eye out on their social media, Fright Nights at the South Florida Fairgrounds. Follow them on Instagram, on Facebook, and on all the places for that information, especially for those sales too. Because I know some folks like to do the spooky things, and it's great to find a deal. So thank you guys for doing that.
Yep. And then let's just circle back for a minute. We're talking about dates as people are jotting things down.
Yes.
Casting call is September 4th.
Okay. So how does that work? If somebody wanted to be a part of the cast, do they just show up? Do they have to fill anything out beforehand? What's your normal process?
We corral them into an auditorium and we use nerve gas. No, that's not the second part.
I mean, fair.
The second part is we interview them all kind of in an individual way. Our like Brad and Jeremy, for example, will go out into the crowd and try to, for lack of a better description, cherry pick. Like, oh, I think this guy would be great for that one spot, or this girl would be great for that. And just do like mini interviews, or even make them, not necessarily do like a monologue, but just get a feel for whether they're introverted or extroverted, or, you know, do they have any experience, or do they have a preference? Like, would they be into this type of part? And it's kind of it's not a long process, but it's a bit tedious of an interviewing process that all designers have access to all these potential actors all at the same time.
Okay.
And then are chosen for a paid spot, then they go fill out paperwork. And then we move into people who want to just volunteer, because there's plenty of volunteer spots. And they have to do a certain amount of nights. They can't just volunteer once, because they fill out paperwork as well. Okay. And then sometimes, like I was mentioning before, sometimes would-be makeup artists or designers or wardrobe people will show up for those type of things, just to see if they can throw their hat in it. So it's a catch-all date for talent.
Okay. So then they just show up on on that specific date, that specific time, which I'm sure is going to be all over Facebook and social media. So folks, keep an eye on that if you're interested in looking into participating and becoming part of that family.
Yep, it's already out there.
Nice. Awesome. So now on for one of the most important questions that I kind of have, because I found that some haunts have plenty of and some haunts just don't have any. What is your parking situation?
Perfect. That's tons of parking. That's tons of parking.
Yeah, it's a fairground, so like the fair draws like millions of people over the course of it. So we're using so there you go.
Fantastic. And is there a charge for parking? Is parking free?
It is a paid parking, yes.
Okay. And then is that going to be cash only, I'm assuming?
They do cash or credit cards.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Okay. Now,
Pretty,
Right, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, is it, I'm assuming that it's all like grass parking, so just kind of be cognizant of that if you're driving out there and it's slightly wet.
It's a mixture of asphalt, a little bit of grass,
Okay.
but the majority asphalt.
Oh, perfect.
I'm making love notes to each other.
No. One thing that should be mentioned that we didn't invite our third designer. There's 300 houses, and we got 2 of the designers here. We really brought them in because they are like I said, they're our foundation. Built a lot of this creative stuff off of. But Becky is doing the third house at Fright Nights, and she's not here tonight. But we want to give a shout out to Becky. This is her second year as a haunted house designer. Last year she knocked it out of the park, and she's a visual artist, so we kind of knew that she was gonna be well equipped to do this job.
Yeah.
And she had done makeup for us, right?
Yeah,
I've already
makeup.
watched that part of her
Makeup,
career.
costumes.
She was doing wardrobe, so she's well equipped for the whole haunted house industry. She does cosplay stuff outside of it as well.
Nice.
So yeah, she'll bring the third house to the table. She's not here. Maybe next year we'll bring just Becky in and we'll leave Brad here.
Well, hi to Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hey.
Hey, Becky.
Very, very excited to see what you all have in store for us this coming season. Do you guys have a recommended age that you would suggest maybe attend or maybe not attend the event?
No, rental discretion. I mean, use common sense. I see people bringing in.
Yeah, people have brought in toddlers before, and we don't tone down the scares necessarily for them.
Okay.
We just let them use their own decision making.
I like that answer. That's, you know your kids, you know what they can handle, you know what they can't handle. If you know they can't handle it, get a sitter.
Or you're about to find out.
or your kids are like, I can handle it. No, you can't. So you'll have to figure that out too. But that's part of the fun, I think, right?
He think it is. I don't think the parents think that.
Now, I do have a small little video clip that you guys had shared to social media that I would like to share for those that maybe have not seen it yet. I'm going to go ahead and share that out if you guys don't mind.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Fright Nights at the South Florida Fairgrounds. South Florida's scariest haunted house. 20 years of fear. Fright Nights.
Those are some great characters you guys have in that video, and just those few quick clips that we saw.
That's a good mix. That's signature characters, and then some of those are flashes from some of our individual haunted house videos. We had a run there where we were doing like little vignettes of each haunted house as a video of its own. We might bring that back, but yeah, some of that stuff that you saw is from those.
Very awesome. I think it's great. It's a nice little teaser to kind of get folks amped up and in the mood for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now we've come to the time where I like to get to know you guys on a little bit of a personal level, and this is always an interesting way to get to know you. And I feel my next couple of questions kind of dive a little deep, in my opinion. So I have to ask this question to all of you guys. Do you have a favorite Halloween candy? And if so, what is your favorite?
That's too personal.
Yeah, I like the pumpkin Reese's.
Wow.
Well,
Very specific.
got to be.
I say anything Reese's.
Milky Way? Oh. Yeah, Reese's peanut butter cup all the way.
Okay. The general consensus I've noticed amongst folks tends to be Reese's. And I'm not mad about it because I agree. Chocolate and peanut butter are probably the two best things that you could put together.
That specific peanut butter, we can delve deeper. It's very, very interesting content here. Butter is crack. All right, that's all I have to say.
Becky,
Becky says candy corn.
Of course you do.
Unpopular opinion. Becky likes to chew on candles.
I like, you know what? I like candy corn. It's one of my favorites, although some folks would say it tastes like wax. I enjoy it personally.
Look, I'm not judging her. I eat paste. That's like a circus peanut. Circus peanuts. I'm changing mine to circus peanuts.
I mean, they still sell them in the store, circus peanuts. You can still get them. All right, and then our final question for you guys for the evening, and this is usually a tough one I tend to find, and I used to do it like what your favorite is, but folks got mad at me because I always got the like I can't pick just one, and I get it because nobody really can. So I'm gonna ask this one for each of you. What is your top 3 favorite horror films?
oh God, Jeremy, oh boy.
That's gonna be really tough for him.
Exorcist, original Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Yes.
Evil Dead 2,
Yes.
3.
Evil Dead.
with American Werewolf in London.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Good choices.
For me, it all started with the original Dawn of the Dead, the first Friday the 13th, and then I like all of Rob Zombie's movies,
Nice.
as campy as they are.
Poorly written.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to echo on The Exorcist because it absolutely terrified me. For many, many years, I couldn't process what I had seen because of the age that we were.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorites is because it's way out on the edge. It's called Baskin, and it's one of the most horrific things I've seen. It's got that weird Hellraiser scheme thing going on.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's subtitled. And then the third one is really tough. I'm gonna have to stick with the classics too, though. I'm gonna stick with Friday the 13th as well.
Nice.
And not the. I don't. When it gets gets a little too Spencer's gifts for me later. Alex bows out.
For me, it's all the Rob Zombie videos that he does. The whole Chainsaw Massacre is a good one. Silent Hills.
Ooh, Silent Hill.
Yeah, Silent Hills is a good one as well. Visually, for sure. Yeah.
Those are some fine choices there, gentlemen. And some of those are some of my favorites. Dawn of the Dead 78 is my top of all time, followed by all of the Evil Dead series.
Becky's is Chainsaw, the original, Hellraisers 2, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Those are some good choices too. The original TCM was so great. It was so gritty and just fun, and I love the whole like based on true events thing. It was before that became a shtick, so that definitely added to the creepiness factor of that for sure.
I need to change my Friday the 13th to the thing.
The Thing is an excellent film, but did you see it when they had it in theaters a couple weeks ago?
No, I saw a re-release, but not a
No,
week ago.
Craig doesn't go to movie theaters. He used to go to the ones that, you know.
Go ahead, do an age joke.
I'll follow it up. Nickelodeon.
He was gonna make a Charlie Chaplin joke, but his brain crapped out before he got there. Is that where your head?
Silent films, you know.
What a guy with crap. Brad is older than me. He's fine. He's younger for sure.
I know you do.
Oh, man.
It's all right. Age
problem.
is nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay. I'm old too. I get it. I'm like old. I'm not telling y'all how old I am. Some of you know, but that's all you're getting because the lady doesn't reveal her age.
Correct. Fair enough. What are your horror films?
Dawn of the Dead 78 is the first horror movie that I ever saw, and it's always stuck with me ever, like when I was itty bitty. So that has my heart. Of course, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. I have a unhealthy obsession with those films that my poor husband can attest to. And then American Werewolf in London, I also throw in there because that is still, in my opinion, one of the best transformations I have ever seen on screen. And it is sexy. It's so amazing. So yeah, those would be mine. So thank you for asking. No one ever asks, so thank you guys. All right, folks, if you guys are interested, make sure you're stalking Fright Nights on their website right here. Bookmark that bad boy. Keep on there for updates when tickets are coming on sale. Make sure that you're following them on all social media for all the for all the sales that are coming up, for the event, for everything. Just make sure that you guys are plugged in. And thank all of you guys for taking time out of your evening and for coming on and chatting with us tonight. Round of applause for everyone. All right, guys, don't go away just yet. I want you guys to hang out for just a second. We're going to go ahead and just give you guys a quick heads up of next week. We have Rick coming on from 13X Studios, and he is also Selfie Guy in Terrifier 2. He'll be joining us as well, so make sure you tune in for that next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And thank you guys for watching, and until next time, keep it spooky. Bye.